Greetings, programs. What's up? I'm back. It's been a long couple days, and I'm here to talk about what is going on this season of Earth. We're going to look at some more insane TikTok dads. Okay, this is from August the Duck, awesome content creator. This is where I got the video from. And he made the video, which is called The Most Delusional Man on TikTok. Go.
Every 15-year-old kid should be doing this right now. If you're getting an allowance of $300 a month, buy a piece of real estate that pays you $30 a month. Only use the 30, don't touch the 300.
I'm gonna be a millionaire before I'm 20, and this is how.
Well guys, today's gonna be a fun one. There is something strangely horrifying yet entertaining about watching a person who is unbelievably out of touch with reality proclaiming how they think the world works. It's like reality TV, but better. Now this is something we've looked at a lot on this channel because surprisingly, it's a pretty common thing for those who get very popular on the internet. Who would have thunk? But today, we're looking at a different kind of out of touch. Those who amass great wealth almost always become disconnected from reality and sort of lose sight of the day-to-day struggles that the average person faces. It's kind of inevitable. However, this doesn't always have to be a horrible thing. Sometimes all people need is to be sat down and be told, hey man, you have no idea what you're talking about. And for a lot of people, that kind of snaps them back. Unfortunately, however, that does not work for everybody, and that is going to be demonstrated here pretty thoroughly today by the TikToks of Grant Cardone. Now, if you've never heard of this guy, he's basically a glorified course salesman who made a bunch of money from real estate. And now he spends his days in Sigma male, alpha male edits, going on TikTok and giving out the worst, most out-of-touch financial advice a human being has ever provided. To be more specific, the financial advice he gives to parents is so laughable that I had to watch about a dozen videos before I could convince myself this guy is not just playing a character. These videos are hilarious, but they're also kind of depressing at the same time. It's gonna be kind of a roller coaster today. Strap in. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Every 15-year-old kid should be doing this right now. If you're getting an allowance of $300 a month.
Alrighty, not even 5 seconds in, and we're already beginning to see the...
I know what he's going to say. Who gets $300 a month allowance? I mean, I didn't get that much when I was a kid. Maybe like 20 bucks every second or third day. And that was for food. I had no spending money. I had to kind of work for my money.
The insanity unfold. Grant, buddy, do you think the average allowance for a 15-year-old is $300 a month? If I had to pull something out of my ass, I would have to guess that the average kid gets somewhere between nothing and $10 a week. Not 75. But this is not even really that relevant because it's not even close to the craziest thing he's gonna say during this clip.
Buy a piece of real estate that pays you $30 a month. Only use the 30, don't touch the 300.
But how would a young, normal person get money?
Allowance, side jobs, side hustles. I was 14 years old. I was working every weekend. I was mowing lawns, doing whatever I could to get some extra money.
All right. Grant, are you fucking insane? Genuine question. Not trying to be mean. Are you crazy? You're a real estate investor, Grant. That's your thing. I know that you know this is impossible. First of all, let's play fantasy land here for a moment and act like a 15-year-old could actually get approved for a loan to buy a piece of real estate. Sure. We can...
Wait. They're actually talking about if a 15-year-old can buy real estate.
Pretend that, I guess. You want children to go out and buy a piece of property that brings them in $330 a month while only costing $300 a month to finance. Okay, can you find me a single piece of property anywhere in the United States of America that fits that bill? That's like a $40,000 home, Grant. Can you find me a livable $40,000 home anywhere in America? Don't worry, I'll answer that for you. No, you can't. But for the sake of the argument, let's just say you could. But unfortunately for you, Grant, I'm going to take away the fact that we're living in a fantasy world. Back to reality. A 15-year-old is not going to have any sort of credit, no assets, no collateral, so they're going to have to come up with a down payment, probably 25% for an investment property. That's 10 grand. Do you honestly believe that not only one, the average 15-year-old is getting a $300 a month allowance, but two, the average 15-year-old has 10 grand sitting in the bank? If you do, you're crazy, man. And
what were you doing when you were 15 years old? Just wind the clocks back a bit. Okay, when you were 15 years old. What, I was a standard 8? I was selling blankets. 90% of it went to buying games. What child is thinking about that? Jeez.
This is just scratching the surface. There's tons of other things you need for a loan. Kids don't have 2 years tax returns, Grant. Look, it's one thing if you want to make videos for children who have parents that are multimillionaires, but to say every kid should be doing this, that's so out of touch, it's kind of unbelievable.
I'm gonna be a millionaire before I'm 20, and this is how. I work for my dad's company. I have a contract with them and I get paid every month.
I work for my daddy's company. I bet you somewhere in this video, there's going to be something about how her dad gives her money every single month. And it's probably going to be a large portion of cash.
And that goes into real estate where I get my passive income and I get to spend that, but I never get to touch that principal. And over time, that principal in real estate will make me a millionaire.
When she does more, I'll bonus her for stuff that she does. One of these TikToks goes to 10 million, I'm gonna give her $10,000.
There it is.
So that 10,000 goes to buy real estate. So she makes 50 a year. Let's say she averages 50 a year, which she will. She's doing a job, she's doing chores, she's doing work. I do not give her an allowance.
Okay.
But you give her $10,000.
There's a lot going on here. Like I said, most of these videos are about his advice to parents, so most of these videos involve his kid. I'm not going to be shitting on his kid. I think she's like 15. Probably doesn't understand how out of touch the situation is. But the reason you're going to be a millionaire before you're 20 is because your dad is worth $600 million. Yeah, that's kind of the cheat code. Also, Grant, you can say you don't give your kid an allowance if you just want to make shit up, I guess. Redefine what words mean and what not. But yeah, if you give your kid $50,000 a year for doing chores, that is an allowance.
Absolutely.
Now look, I want to make this clear. I don't really have a problem with what this guy's doing. You absolutely should be investing for your children and setting their future up for them. I'm a very firm believer that if you're not willing to invest in your child's future and give them the best shot at success possible and guarantee them a better start than you had, you shouldn't be having kids. The problem is how he doesn't seem to understand how out of touch this is, while simultaneously acting like this is some groundbreaking stuff. Yeah, you give your kid $50,000 a year and $10,000 here and there when a TikTok does well. No shit, she's gonna be a millionaire before she's 20.
Giving her $50,000, she's going to have no concept of the value of money because I don't have kids. I would first teach him the value of money. I would be opening up checking savings accounts and throwing cash into it every day until they're like 21 from the day they are born so that it can earn some compound interest. You can get up a nice chunk of cash. And then when they're 21, you can say, hey, okay, I've got this for you. What are your plans for the future? Like, what do you want to do? Only once they understand the value of money and some of the mistakes I have personally made, and hopefully that will set them up for a better future. Teach a man to fish, never go hungry.
Okay, the 50,000 times 10 years, which she will have at least 10 years, is 500 grand. If that money doubles because she never touched it, she's a millionaire. It will have paid her $300,000 in income that was not taxed. And I wrote off $500,000 of salary from the IRS. So it's a win-win for everybody. I'm never going to give a kid an allowance for living in my house. Shit, she's lucky to live in my house.
Yeah, okay, Grant. I don't know if this is an attempt by you to be snarky and just act like money means nothing to you. It just makes you look like a douchebag.
Yep.
We get it. $100,000 a year is nothing to you. Can't even qualify it as an allowance. I just don't understand the angle.
Parents are stupid to give their kids allowances. Here's how I get money as a 14-year-old. Every year I'm paid a certain sum of money from the company for being an employee. This means I have certain obligations I have to fill.
How many do you think are afforded that privilege? This guy is 100% right. I agree with everything he is saying. This is completely and utterly heinous and so out of touch. Wow.
I have to help people out around the office. That sum of money goes and gets invested into real estate. That real estate then has passive income, and that money I get paid with every month. I get paid $150, $400 every single month and get to spend that. But I never get to spend the principal income I have. So every year that principal, it stacks on top of each other. And over time, my passive income becomes more and more.
Okay, so look, I'm not doubting that that's how you and your dad have handled you getting money, but let's all be on the same page here. That is an allowance. You get money that comes from your dad because it's getting paid out by your dad's company for doing chores around your dad's office. Yeah, that's an allowance. You are describing being a trust fund baby who gets an allowance. That's it. Again,
100%.
Nothing wrong with that. But stop trying to act like you guys are better than everybody else because you don't want to use the word allowance.
I bring home the deadbeat. He has a tattoo on his face like Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
This guy, what are you doing? Like, how are you going to react?
Number one, Mike Tyson can put a tattoo anywhere he wants. That guy you're with hadn't done anything. He hadn't won one fight, much less 50.
Holy shit, what a crazy thing to say to your daughter as a father. Yeah, as long as the guy you're with beats the shit out of people, he can do whatever he wants. That's kind of a weird thing to say, Grant.
Okay, but what if I really love him?
I'm going to tell you, man, you bring a kid home who's got a tattoo on his face, I got a problem with that. What were you thinking?
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
What happened to you? Because all we know is this kid took and put tens of thousands of injections into his face. What thought process did he go through to decide to do that? Either did something out of one moment, or you took a long period of time to think about doing it. Either way, we got a problem. And now I got a problem with you because now you fell in love with some guy that makes weird decisions.
You know what, guys? I don't really like this. This is kind of weird. But honestly, I've got to respect the hustle. Sure, I could be talking out of my ass here, but I think we all know what's going on here. Look, you have me born into a family where my dad is worth $600 million. I'm going to tell that motherfucker anything he wants to hear. Yeah, Dad, my boyfriend has a face tattoo.
Yes.
You should just fucking kill him. I'm not doing a single thing to mess up that inheritance. You want me to do a podcast where I agree with everything you say? Okay, sure, whatever. You gotta respect the grind.
What kind of car do you think I should get? Because I want something that is like a nice car.
I can buy her anything, by the way.
This is a great feeling. But I want
Oh my god.
something that's a nice car, but I also don't want it to be super flashy, super loud, nothing like that screams like, oh, I'm super spoiled. Just something that's like, it's a nice car. She probably comes from a good family, but that's all I want it to say.
You even said you were willing to have a used car with some scratches on it. Why'd you say that?
For sure.
Well, I'll be. What a nice young lady. You would be willing to have a free car with scratches on it? Holy shit. Guys, do we have like a reward we can give her for this? Look, I'm not trying to be a douche, but come on. My first car was $200. It stopped working in 3 months. Somebody saying they'll take a free car with a scratch or two is not very impressive. Not to anybody outside of this kind of circle.
I don't want a new car. Right now, I think the car that I want is the new Toyota Land Cruiser.
What? You don't want a new car?
What did I say? It's a Land Cruiser price. 1.4 million rand.
Car, but you want a new car? Okay, sure, whatever.
That came out. The Land Rover Defender. I like those kind of bulky cars. Like they're not quite SUVs. The G-Wagon, like that kind of shape of car. I like. And the Toyota Land Cruiser is kind of the same kind of shape.
Yeah, the new Land Cruiser is pretty cool looking.
The new Land Cruiser is really cool.
Okay, look, I have
nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
nothing against this kid for wanting a nice car. Seriously, if my parents were worth $600 million, I'd be asking for something a lot fucking nicer than a Toyota, I promise you. It's okay to want nice things when you know that money means nothing to your parents. I'm not gonna sit here and hate on this kid, but if you're being genuine, if what you're saying is true, I'm really sorry to be the one that has to break this news to you, but getting a brand new $100,000 car for your 16th birthday does in fact scream, I'm super spoiled. Hell, it announces that you're spoiled to the entire universe. The average amount of money spent on a person's first car is $7,000. And that number is only so high because car prices were absolutely demolished by COVID. A 6-figure Land Rover or a $70,000 or $80,000 Land Cruiser for a first car? Yeah, sorry, but that's spoiled.
What age do you think I'll make it to $100 billion?
You could do that by the time you're 35 years old because everybody else around you is sleeping. Lazy's not the problem right now. They're indoctrinated. They're watching their phones. Their heads are going to be falling over their shoulders by the time they're 40. Any kid, you don't need to go to college. That's 4 or 5 years that you would waste. Put your head down now, find the right vehicle, the right opportunity, get in it, learn everything you can about it. Not the little stuff, but the big things that make the thing grow. You could be 35. You could be one of the most influential people in the world.
Look, I'm sure this is probably just part of his shtick, but stuff like this is so disingenuous. You heard it here first, folks. Any kid, no matter what, can have $100 million worth of assets by the time they're 35 if they just put their nose to the grindstone. The fact that this girl's father is worth hundreds of millions of dollars gives her no sort of advantage whatsoever. It's just because all the other kids right now are lazy. That shit is so lame. I mean, seriously, be proud of the wealth you've created. Be proud of the opportunities you've opened up for your children and how easy you've made it for them. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Acting like who you are and what you're worth has nothing to do with the fact that your kid's gonna be a millionaire. That is something to be ashamed of. That's lame. Well, guys, what do you think? Are you motivated? Are you ready to go out and and buy a house for 36 pennies a month and become a millionaire by the time you're 11? If not, that's fine, I guess, but Grant Cardone did tell me that he'd hate you, so you're gonna have to live with that. I can't wait for all the finance bros to invade the comment section of this video telling me I'm just jealous, I don't see the vision. I would genuinely rather die with $0 in my bank account than ever buy a course from one of these goofballs. It's called not being a dumbass. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
That is freaking awesome. Let me tell you something right now, okay? If I was a billionaire, like a billionaire, you wouldn't know who I was. Okay, I would disappear from society. I'd be creating my own society somewhere on some island in the middle of the Pacific somewhere and making my own rules and my own jurisdictions. Yeah, I wouldn't be on TikTok. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. I'm tired of seeing these TikTok influencers, and I've seen an entire thread about TikTok dads, and it's just wild. It's wild the amount of shitty advice that these people give to parents and kids out there. It's pretty crazy.